I want to take just the last bit of our time together to talk about your new book. I didn't actually know that you had it. Like I knew it like a couple of months ago, but I was just searching for another book of yours, Garden City, because I hadn't read that one yet. And I saw on Amazon that there was Live No Lies, Resisting the World, the Flesh, and the Devil in the Modern Age. And I was like, oh yeah, buddy, it's going to be so good. So I wondered if you could tell us a little bit about that book and what kind of led you to write that.
Yeah, I didn't even realize it was on Amazon yet. We haven't even finished the cover, and the subtitle just changed. And
oh, really?
Yeah, that's amazing that you found that. Yes, I have a book coming out on September 22nd. Yeah. It is called Live No Lies. The updated subtitle is Recognize and Resist the Three Enemies That Sabotage Your Peace. It is my attempt to kind of update the ancient Christian paradigm of the world, the flesh, and the devil, or what ancient Christians called the three enemies of the soul. Yeah. For those of us living in a Brisbane or a Portland or a very secular kind of sophisticated world that doesn't really even believe in those things anymore, much less have a robust kind of grasp of them. And it really, the whole book's not about this, but the kind of tip of the spear is about the role of lies in our society and our soul and how they sabotage and deform and destroy us. There's a psychologist I love named David Benner who has this great line. He writes, the problem is not so much that we tell lies, but that we live them. Oh. And so a bunch of the book is about Evagrius of Ponticus, about the desert, and about how lies about who God is, about who we are, about what the good life is, come into our mind and begin to destroy us from the inside out. And the tragedy is that what start out as lies often become true. You know, if I start to hear the lie that, you know, you're not worthy of success, or your marriage is not going to make it, or everybody is mad at you, or you don't have a call here. If I then begin to believe that lie and I begin to live that lie, then tragically what was started out as a demonic lie from the enemy, it's not even true, can actually start to become true of my life.
Yeah, right.
And so it's about unmasking the lies of the enemy that take root in our mind and are often co-opted by what the Bible calls our flesh and normalized by what the scripture calls the world. So anyway, it's a really intense book. I don't know what it's going to do, but yeah, I'm excited about it.
What can I ask you one more question? What kind of led you specifically to write that book? Because obviously you're a busy guy, and it doesn't take 2 days to write a book. It takes quite a while. Yeah, so what was your motivation? Why this particular topic?
I think living and serving as a pastor in a just incredibly secular city, an incredibly progressive city, and seeing so many people deconstruct their faith as millennials and walk away from anything remotely resembling orthodoxy and often and most of the time from Jesus himself, and just the sadness in my spirit over that. And seeing that the idolatry of our era really is ideology on both the left and the right. And of course, I'm speaking as an American. I know it's very different in your context. And so forgive me for my American centricity at times. Yep. Yeah. And so really it's my manifesto for how do we stay true to the way of Jesus in a super secular, and for most of us, very progressive, not all of us, some people, the opposite problem, kind of culture. Yeah. And how do we flourish here and find deep life in God? And I've also just pastorally been I've become really interested in what some call inner healing prayer, or the healing of memories, and the role of trauma in our spiritual formation and how it sabotages God's will for our life. And I've just become so pastorally aware of how many of us are living in bondage to lies, internal narratives that are sabotaging God's call in our life, and the need to expose those lies and get free. I mean, when Jesus said, you will know the truth and the truth will set you free, he was simultaneously saying that we are in bondage to lies. And there are external lies kind of from the culture and the culture wars and secularism and progressivism or conservatism. And then there are internal lies from our trauma, our experience, our family of origin, demonic input into our own mind. And Jesus wants us free of those lies to just flourish and live in his peace. So I want that for me. I want that for more people. Wow. That's what the book's about.
That's so good. I can't wait to read it.